Your dog isn't staring at a ghost. He's just downloading the latest software update for his single brain cell. And apparently, that update includes a very specific craving for your left sneaker and a side of backyard dirt. Congratulations, you don't own a majestic descendant of the gray wolf. You own a furry, four-legged biological Roomba that's currently experiencing a critical system error. We've spent 30,000 years domesticating these creatures, turning them into peak athletic companions, only for them to decide that the most delicious thing in the entire world is a random clump of crabgrass, or, God forbid, the forbidden brownies in the cat's litter box. Think about the logic here. You buy them grain-free, ethically sourced, salmon and sweet potato kibble that costs more than your monthly car insurance. And what does Duke do? He ignores the bowl, walks into the backyard with the confidence of a Michelin-star critic, and starts grazing like a confused cow that's lost its herd. He's not hungry. He's just decided to transition into a lifestyle of aggressive veganism without telling you. It's the lawnmower setting. One minute he's a guard dog, the next he's a John Deere, meticulously trimming your lawn with his teeth. And the best part? He won't even do it neatly. He'll find the one patch of grass that looks particularly spicy, rip it out by the roots, and then come inside to barf it onto your brand new cream-colored rug. That's not an accident. That's a statement. That's performance art. But grass is just the gateway drug. The real strategic executive decision happens when they find something truly unthinkable. You know the look. That frantic, high-speed chewing when you ask, "What's in your mouth?" Suddenly your dog transforms into an Olympic sprinter. They aren't running away because they're guilty. They're protecting their investment. Whether it's a discarded candy wrapper, a pebble that looks slightly like a tater tot, or a pair of your favorite silk underwear, once it's in the vault, it's gone. It's a hostile takeover. They aren't eating because they're hungry. They're eating because the object existed, and they felt it was their civic duty to remove it from the physical plane. It's like their brain sends a signal saying, "This looks like it could be a choking hazard. Let me solve that by swallowing it whole." Flawless logic, Duke. And then there's the special snacks. The ones that make you want to cancel the kisses forever. We're talking about the backyard buffet. If you've ever seen your dog treat a pile of deer droppings like it's a limited edition charcuterie board, you've witnessed the ultimate glitch in the canine matrix. They aren't being gross. In their head, they're just being efficient. Why let all those perfectly good pre-processed nutrients go to waste? It's recycling. Your dog is a climate activist. A very, very smelly climate activist who wants to lick your face immediately after saving the planet. It's a bold choice. A chaotic choice. A choice that says, "I was a wolf once, but now I'm just a guy who likes weird textures and questionable life choices." Now, if you're sitting there wondering if your dog is actually broken, don't worry. Science says they're just running on legacy hardware. Evolution is a slow process, and apparently, the Don't Eat Literal Trash update is still stuck in beta testing. When a dog eats grass, it's often a calculated biological reset. Their ancestors didn't have access to pink bismuth or overpriced probiotics. If their stomach felt a little meh, they'd just go find some roughage. The grass acts like a giant leafy pipe cleaner. It tickles the throat, irritates the stomach lining, and boom, instant evacuation. It's a natural detox, except instead of a green smoothie, it's a muddy lawn. It's effective, it's efficient, and it's absolutely disgusting to watch. But what about the weird cravings for non-food items? That's where things get interesting. In the world of animal psychology, we call this Pica. It's basically the dog version of, "I'm bored and this remote control feels like it has a satisfying crunch." Sometimes it's a mineral deficiency, like their body is screaming for iron so they start licking the patio furniture. But most of the time, it's just attention-seeking behavior. Your dog knows that the second they put your AirPods in their mouth, they become the most important person in the room. They've cracked the code. They've realized that being bad gets them 100% of your focus. It's a high-stakes game of keep away where the prize is a trip to the emergency vet and a very expensive x-ray that shows a glowing plastic dinosaur in their colon. And as for the poop eating, yeah, I know. It's the hardest one to swallow. Literally. It's called coprophagia, and while it makes us want to burn the house down, to a dog, it's actually a survival tactic from the old days. Mother dogs eat their puppies' waste to keep the den clean and hide the scent from predators. It's stealth mode activated. Or, it's because their bodies are desperately looking for enzymes that their high-heat processed kibble might be missing. Their brain is telling them, hey, there's still some goodness in there. Let's go for round 2. It's the ultimate buy one, get one free deal of the animal kingdom. They're just trying to get their money's worth out of every meal. It's not a lack of class. It's peak financial responsibility. They are the Warren Buffetts of the backyard, reinvesting their assets for maximum yield. They aren't broken, they're just over-optimized for a world that no longer requires them to hunt for their own dinner. So, if we're being honest, the broken part of the dog isn't actually their stomach. It's the bridge between their predatory instincts and their current reality as a professional couch potato. Their internal software is still running on Wolf 1.0, but the hardware has been downgraded to Pug 2.5. It's a compatibility nightmare. When a wild wolf eats a deer, they're getting the whole package: the meat, the bones, and the fermented salad already sitting in the deer's stomach. Dogs are just trying to recreate that 5-star dining experience with a patch of Kentucky bluegrass and your favorite pair of flip-flops. Their brain tells them they're missing micronutrients, but because they don't have a degree in biology, they assume those nutrients are hidden inside the TV remote. It's not a lack of intelligence, it's just a very aggressive, very misguided commitment to a balanced diet. Think about the sheer audacity of the scent masking theory. Some experts believe dogs eat the forbidden brownies from the cat's box or roll in literal garbage because they're trying to hide their scent from prey. Imagine that logic for a second. Duke is a 10-pound Pomeranian who lives in a suburban cul-de-sac. His only prey is a squeaky rubber chicken named Mr. Squeaks. But in Duke's mind, he's a tactical genius. He thinks, if I smell like a dumpster fire, the vacuum cleaner will never see me coming. He's playing 4D chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. He's not being gross. He's going stealth mode. It's basically the canine version of wearing camo to the grocery store. It doesn't actually help, but it makes him feel like a total badass. And then there's the Pica phenomenon. This is where the glitch in the matrix really peaks. Why a rock? Why a coin? Why a literal AA battery? Sometimes, it's just about the mouthfeel. Dogs explore the world with their faces. They don't have hands, so every new object is a mystery that can only be solved by a taste test. It starts as a curious lick, then a gentle nibble, and before you know it, their brain sends a confirm purchase signal to their throat. It's an impulse buy that they can't return. They're like toddlers who just discovered that the world is made of things that might, just might, be snacks. Their internal bioalgorithm is programmed to consume first, ask questions later. And since they have the stomach acid of a literal garbage disposal, they usually get away with it. Right up until they try to digest a Lego Star Wars set. Let's talk about the boredom buffet. If you leave a dog alone for 8 hours with nothing but a chew toy and their own thoughts, they're going to start improvising. A dog's brain is like a high-performance sports car engine that's being used to power a toaster. If they don't have a job, they will invent one. And usually, that job is interior demolition and taste testing. That drywall? To you, it's a wall. To a bored husky, it's a giant flavorless cracker that needs to be investigated. They aren't trying to destroy your security deposit, they're just trying to pass the time by seeing if the house is secretly made of biscuits. It's a structural investigation. They're basically unlicensed building inspectors who work for treats. At the end of the day, we have to face the cold, hard truth. Your dog is a masterpiece of confused engineering. We took a majestic, apex predator, a creature that commanded the frozen tundras and struck fear into the hearts of elk, and we turned it into a creature that gets its head stuck in a cereal box. We bred the fear out and replaced it with an infinite, bottomless hunger and a complete lack of shame. We created a biological paradox, a wolf that thinks a blade of grass is a delicacy and a used sock is a Michelin-star appetizer. But here's the thing, we love them for the glitches. If your dog was a perfect, logical, efficient hunting machine, he wouldn't be nearly as much fun to have on the couch. There is something deeply relatable about a creature that looks at a clear "do not eat" sign and thinks, "I'll bet that tastes like chicken." They represent our own impulsive side, the part of us that wants to eat the whole bag of chips at 2 a.m. just because they're there. Your dog isn't broken. He's just living his best, most chaotic life, one weird snack at a time. He's a reminder that even in a world of high-tech precision, there's still room for a little bit of meow logic. So, the next time you see Duke out in the yard, grazing like a confused sheep or trying to swallow a tennis ball whole, don't be mad. Just realize that you're witnessing 30,000 years of evolution doing a spectacular belly flop. He's not a wolf. He's not a guard dog. He's a furry, four-legged comedian who's just trying to figure out if the entire world is edible. And honestly, given how the world looks lately, maybe he's onto something. Maybe we should all take a page out of his book. Stay curious, stay hungry, and maybe, just maybe, stop eating the grass. It's not as good as it looks.